Hey guys, what's up? It's Liz here, back with another vlog. Today's vlog is going to be interesting. Yesterday, because I will tell you, yesterday I got stung by a insect for the first time ever. I got stung by a wasp, and I didn't even know they could sting you. So I was coming back from Dunkin's with my mobile order, and I just mobile ordered a Kylie Jenner refresher from the King Kylie collection. Anyways. So I came back with my refresher. All of a sudden I feel the sharp pain. It's a sting. It landed on the wall downstairs, and I took a picture of it for Google AI. I'm like, what is the sting? And it said, well, not what is the sting, but what is this insect? Sorry. I was talking faster than I was thinking. Anyways, it said it's a wasp, and I asked it, well, can wasps sting? And it says, yes, if you feel a sharp, sudden pain, it's a sting. And it said what to do. It said, if you're allergic, seek medical help. If you're not allergic, apply basic first aid, like put an ice pack on it. Well, my mom took a picture of it, and I tried calling my dad, no answer from him. Called my grandma. She answered her cell phone, and I told her, hey, Grandma, I just got stung by a wasp. She goes, are you okay? I said, well, my neck hurts. It's on the back of my neck. She goes, oh. I said, I've never gotten stung before. She goes, I haven't either. I said, it's my first insect sting ever, and I'm not, used to this. Like, I don't know what to do. And she goes, if I were you, she goes, are you allergic to this sting? I'm like, well, my mom just took a picture of it, and I sent it to her, and I said, it doesn't seem to be red, but there is this decent-sized bump on the back of my neck. So, she goes, it's not red. And she goes, I said, no. And she goes, well, then you're probably not allergic. It's probably just what happens after you get stung. So, she goes, I would just go to urgent care and get it checked out and see what they can do, if they can do anything to treat your sting. So, I texted my dad the picture, and he said I got stung by a wasp. In the middle of the call, he answers my text. My dad answers my text and is like, well, where is that on your arm? I'm like, no, it's on the back of my neck. And then a couple minutes later, I hung up the call with my grandmother, and I texted my dad back, and I was like, can you call me? It's on the back of my neck. And my dad's an operating room nurse, so thank goodness he knows what to do in these situations. Anyways, he called me a couple of seconds later, and he goes, well, what happened? And I explained to him that I was coming in the door from Dunkin' Donuts, didn't even know there was anything behind me, and all of a sudden, I didn't even feel the wasp crawling on my neck. All I feel is just the stinger going into me. And then I felt a sharp, sudden pain. I'm like, well, that's weird. And he says, you didn't see a wasp when you were coming in from Dunkin'? I'm like, no, I didn't even see it. I didn't even realize there was a bug near me. And he goes, well, you might have aggravated it, and that was its way of getting back to you, was to sting you, and you might have aggravated it, not knowing there was a wasp near you. I'm like, that can happen. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, it happens with bees, it can happen with wasps, it can happen with anything that can sting, really. And because he goes, I've never been stung by a wasp, but I've been stung by a bee, and that hurts. I said, well, I've never been stung by a bee. And he goes, you don't want to. It really hurts. It's really painful. So, he goes, well, do you want me to come by, pick you up, and take you to urgent care? I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. And he goes, okay. So he comes by, picks me up, brings me to urgent care. And, I asked him, I said, when we were on our way to urgent care in his car, I'm like, can you go in the room with me? He goes, yeah, sure, I'll go in the room with you. And so, we check in, give him my insurance, everything, and then, I sign a consent form through text on my phone. And next thing you know, they call my name. We go back into a room where they take my vitals. Everything's normal except for my blood pressure. It's a little bit raised because I'm nervous. And next thing you know, bring me into the exam room. My dad goes in there with me. Set all my stuff down on the chair. He sits in the chair next to my purse and my phone, and I take my shoes off, get up onto the exam table. There was not a long wait because we were like one of the only people in there. And next thing you know, got a knock on the door. Nurse practitioner comes in. I tell her what happened, and she goes, well, can I feel your neck? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, nothing feels swollen. She feels this part of my neck. She goes, nothing feels swollen. You're good. And then she goes, I just need to listen to your lungs to make sure you're not wheezing, because sometimes stings from insects can cause wheezing. And it can cause a respiratory issue. I just want to make sure you don't have any breathing problems. So she listened to 4 sections of my lungs. She goes, your lungs sound perfect. You're perfectly healthy. No wheezing. She goes, the only thing we can do to treat this wasp sting is I can send you a prescription. I can send CVS a prescription, which is a CVS across the street, of cream you can take for your wasp sting. She goes, now you have to apply it twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. And what you do is, if you're going to go outside, make sure to put on cream and sunscreen to make sure it heals properly, because we don't want your wasp sting getting sunburned, because that can hurt worse and make it a little bit, not puffy, but make it a little bit bigger. And she goes, just make sure to protect your wasp sting with cream, because we want to make sure it heals and it goes away. And she goes, do you have any allergies that you know of? I'm like, nope, no allergies. I said, this is my first insect sting, so I said I didn't have a reaction to it. All I just felt was a sharp, sudden pain. It just flew in after me. And she goes, yeah, that'll happen. She goes, it's unfortunate, but that's how bugs sting you. And sometimes, the worst part is you don't even feel them sometimes crawling on you. And it gets back at you to sting you, because it's a way of saying, hey, you tried to hurt me, so now I'm going to sting you. It's just this way of protecting itself. And she told me the only way the bug would die, a wasp or a bee, is if it stung you and the stinger gets stuck in you, then the insect dies. Because they don't have a stinger anymore, so they just can't, they don't have any function anymore if they don't have a stinger, basically. Because that's how they protect themselves, is they sting people. But not all the time when you get stung do you get a stinger stuck in you. And if you get a stinger stuck in you, hopefully you have tweezers, but you have to get it out with tweezers because you can't leave it in you. Anyways, yeah, so my dad took me to urgent care. I got it checked out. Then he took me to CVS and we got my medicine. It took 15 minutes for them to get the medicine ready, because the cream. Then we got the cream, and on the way, when he was driving me home, he goes, I apologized to him. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what you were doing. I didn't want it. He goes, no, I wasn't doing anything. He goes, I'm just glad that you're okay and you're not allergic. He goes, if you were allergic, you would have had to call 911, and an ambulance would have had to come and get you to take you to the ER. I'm like, seriously? He goes, oh yeah. Because if you were allergic, if you ever get stung by another insect like a bee and you find out you're allergic, you'd have an immediate reaction, like with the snap of a finger, like that. So make sure if you ever get another sting, whether it's a wasp, well, a wasp you know you're not allergic to, but if you ever get a bee sting and you find out you're allergic to a bee sting and you feel yourself swelling up, you'll have an immediate reaction. Call 911, an ambulance will come and get you and they'll take you to the ER. He goes, they just want to get you checked out, because he goes, believe it or not, stings, if you're allergic to them, can give you respiratory problems, so you just want to make sure you get it checked out. But he goes, you won't know you're allergic to one until you start having a reaction. I said, well, I've never been stung by a bee. He goes, but if you ever do and you find out you're allergic, call emergency services immediately, because you need to get that checked out as soon as possible. I said, oh, they'll rush me he goes, oh yeah, they have to rush you to the hospital. He goes, they'll see where you got stung and they'll be like, yep, you're allergic, if that ever does happen to you. But having this experience, I learned something from this. Stings are not pleasant, but there are ways to treat them if you're not allergic to them, like me, cream. And I have to use the cream from 3 to 4 days, so I have to use it till at least like Thursday. Yeah. twice a day, and then yeah. So I'm not really planning on doing anything much. Well, I mean, tomorrow I do have my last driver's ed lesson, and then I have the dentist in the morning. But other than that, like, I don't really have any plans for this week. So I just hope I don't get stung again. Fingers crossed I don't get stung by a bee. And I told my dad, I'm like, I hope I don't get stung for a while. He goes, I hope you don't get stung again. I'm like, well, if it happens, it happens. And if I have an allergic reaction, at least I know what to do. He goes, yeah. He goes, or if you can't get to the phone and you find out you're having an allergic reaction and you're near an adult, if you're like near your mom, have your mom call 911 because you need to get that checked out if you're allergic. But if you're not allergic, try putting an ice pack on it. And he goes, oh, did you try putting an ice pack on it? I'm like, well, yeah, but it hurt just putting it on it. It like stung. I put it on it for like a couple seconds. I'm like, ouch, this hurts. Like, this is really painful. And he goes, yeah, stings are not pleasant. But yeah, I thought I'd just tell you guys, I got stung by a wasp on the back of my neck. I'm okay. I've been treating it with cream since yesterday night, but I'm like, I can't believe that happened to me. Because I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know that there was a wasp behind me. All of a sudden, I just feel a sharp pain in the back of my neck. I'm like, ouch. And I had a feeling I got stung by an insect. I thought I maybe got stung by a bee. No, I wasn't. But I was just like, are you kidding me? But yeah, I'm okay. I just wanted to tell you guys that story. And yeah, if you guys ever get stung and you have an allergic reaction, call 911. If you live in the United States, call 911, or otherwise, if you live in another country, call your country's national number for emergency. Like, call your country's emergency line. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for 233 subscribers. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next vlog. Bye!